Hello and welcome to our video on American presidents from independence to date. The role of the President of the United States is one of the most important and influential positions in the world, and over the years, the country has seen some of the greatest leaders in history. From the first president, George Washington, who led the country to independence from Great Britain, to the current president, Joe Biden, who is leading the country through unprecedented times, each president has made their mark on American history. In this video, we'll take a deep dive into the lives, accomplishments, and legacies of all American presidents, from independence until today. So, sit back, relax, and let's get started. The first president of the United States was George Washington, who served from 1789 to 1797. He was a military commander during the American Revolution and played a crucial role in securing the country's independence from Great Britain. During his presidency, he established many of the traditions and customs that still exist in the presidency today, including the use of the title, Mr. President. Washington's successor, John Adams, served from 1797 to 1801. He was a key figure in the Continental Congress and played an important role in drafting the Declaration of Independence. During his presidency, he focused on strengthening the nation's military and improving relations with France. Thomas Jefferson, who served from 1801 to 1809, is best known for his role in drafting the Declaration of Independence. During his presidency, he purchased the Louisiana Territory from France, which doubled the size of the United States. He also founded the University of Virginia and is considered one of the most influential presidents in American history. James Madison served as president from 1809 to 1817 and was instrumental in leading the country through the War of 1812. He was also responsible for the creation of the Second Bank of the United States, which helped stabilize the nation's economy. James Monroe served from 1817 to 1825 and is best known for his Monroe Doctrine, which established the United States as a dominant power in the Western Hemisphere. He also oversaw the acquisition of Florida from Spain and was responsible for establishing diplomatic relations with many Latin American countries. John Quincy Adams served from 1825 to 1829 and is considered one of the most well-educated presidents in American history. During his presidency, he focused on improving infrastructure and education in the country. Andrew Jackson, who served from 1829 to 1837, was a military hero who played a crucial role in the Battle of New Orleans during the War of 1812. He was also responsible for the Indian Removal Act, which forcibly removed Native American tribes from their lands and led to the Trail of Tears. Martin Van Buren served as president from 1837 to 1841 and was responsible for establishing the Democratic Party. He also focused on improving relations with other countries, including Great Britain and France. William Henry Harrison served as president for only 31 days in 1841 before dying from pneumonia. He was the first president to die while in office. John Tyler served from 1841 to 1845 and was responsible for the annexation of Texas. He was also responsible for the establishment of a national bank and helped to settle a border dispute with Great Britain. James K. Polk served from 1845 to 1849 and was responsible for the Mexican-American War, which resulted in the acquisition of California and New Mexico. He also oversaw the expansion of the country's borders to the Pacific Ocean. Zachary Taylor served as president from 1849 to 1850 and was a military hero who led the country to victory in the Mexican-American War. He died while in office, and his vice president, Millard Fillmore, served out the remainder of his term. Franklin Pierce served from 1853 to 1857 and oversaw the signing of the Kansas-Nebraska Act, which led to a bloody conflict over slavery in the territories. He also played a key role in opening up trade with Japan. James Buchanan served from 1857 to 1861 and was responsible for the Dred Scott decision, which declared that African Americans could not be citizens. His presidency was also marked by growing tensions between the North and South, which would eventually lead to the Civil War. Abraham Lincoln, who served from 1861 to 1865, is considered one of the greatest presidents in American history. He led the country through the Civil War, preserved the Union, and abolished slavery. He was assassinated in 1865, just days after the end of the war. Andrew Johnson served as president from 1865 to 1869 and oversaw the reconstruction of the South after the Civil War. His policies were unpopular with Congress, and he was impeached, although he was not removed from office. Ulysses S. Grant served from 1869 to 1877 and was responsible for many reforms, including the establishment of the Department of Justice and the Department of the Interior. He also oversaw the passage of the 15th Amendment, which gave African American men the right to vote. Rutherford B. Hayes served from 1877 to 1881 and oversaw the end of Reconstruction in the South. He also worked to improve civil service reform and reduce corruption in government. James A. Garfield served as president for only 6 months in 1881 before being assassinated. He was a strong advocate for civil service reform and fought against political corruption. Chester A. Arthur served from 1881 to 1885 and oversaw the passage of the Pendleton Civil Service Reform Act, which established a merit-based system for government jobs. He also played a key role in the modernization of the U.S. Navy. Grover Cleveland served as president from 1885 to 1889 and again from 1893 to 1897. He is the only president to serve non-consecutive terms. During his presidency, he focused on reducing government spending and improving the economy. Benjamin Harrison served from 1889 to 1893 and oversaw the passage of the Sherman Antitrust Act, which aimed to promote competition and prevent monopolies. He also worked to expand the country's borders, annexing Hawaii and establishing trade relations with other countries. William McKinley served from 1897 to 1901 and oversaw the Spanish-American War, which resulted in the acquisition of Puerto Rico, Guam, and the Philippines. He was assassinated in 1901, and his vice president, Theodore Roosevelt, took over the presidency. Theodore Roosevelt served from 1901 to 1909 and is known for his progressive policies and conservation efforts. He established national parks, broke up monopolies, and played a key role in building the Panama Canal. William Howard Taft served from 1909 to 1913 and was responsible for the establishment of the Department of Labor. He also worked to improve relations with Latin American countries. Woodrow Wilson served from 1913–1921 and led the country through World War I. He also oversaw the passage of the 19th Amendment, which gave women the right to vote and played a key role in the establishment of the League of Nations. Warren G. Harding served from 1921 to 1923 and oversaw a period of economic growth known as the Roaring Twenties. However, his presidency was also marred by corruption scandals. Calvin Coolidge served from 1923 to 1929 and continued the economic policies of his predecessor, leading to a period of continued prosperity. He also signed the Indian Citizenship Act, which granted citizenship to Native Americans. Herbert Hoover served from 1929 to 1933 and was in office during the start of the Great Depression. He implemented policies to try to address the crisis, but they were largely unsuccessful. Franklin D. Roosevelt served as president from 1933 to 1945 and led the country through the Great Depression and World War II. He is known for his New Deal policies, which aimed to provide relief, recovery, and reform during the Great Depression, and his leadership during World War II, including the decision to drop atomic bombs on Japan. Harry S. Truman served as president from 1945 to 1953 and oversaw the end of World War II and the start of the Cold War. He is known for his decision to drop atomic bombs on Japan, the Truman Doctrine, which aimed to contain the spread of communism, and the Marshall Plan, which helped to rebuild Europe after the war. Dwight D. Eisenhower served from 1953 to 1961 and oversaw a period of economic growth and technological innovation. He also played a key role in the Civil Rights Movement, sending federal troops to enforce desegregation in Little Rock, Arkansas. John F. Kennedy served from 1961 to 1963 before being assassinated in Dallas, Texas. He is known for his leadership during the Cuban Missile Crisis, his commitment to civil rights, and his famous Moon Speech, which set the goal of putting a man on the moon by the end of the decade. Lyndon B. Johnson served from 1963 to 1969 and is known for his leadership during the Civil Rights Movement, including the passage of the Civil Rights Act and the Voting Rights Act. He also escalated U.S. involvement in the Vietnam War. Richard Nixon served from 1969 to 1974 and oversaw the end of U.S. involvement in the Vietnam War. He also played a key role in the establishment of the Environmental Protection Agency and the Occupational Safety and Health Administration. However, his presidency was marred by the Watergate scandal, and he resigned before facing impeachment. Gerald Ford served from 1974 to 1977 and oversaw a period of economic turmoil known as stagflation. He is also known for his pardon of Richard Nixon. Jimmy Carter served from 1977 to 1981 and is known for his efforts to promote peace in the Middle East and his commitment to human rights. However, his presidency was also marked by economic struggles and the Iran hostage crisis. Ronald Reagan served from 1981 to 1989 and is known for his conservative policies, including his support for deregulation and tax cuts. He also played a key role at the end of the Cold War and the fall of the Soviet Union. George H. W. Bush served from 1989 to 1993 and oversaw the end of the Cold War and the Gulf War. He also signed the Americans with Disabilities Act and played a key role in the establishment of NAFTA. Bill Clinton served from 1993 to 2001 and is known for his efforts to balance the budget and promote economic growth. He also played a key role in the establishment of the North American Free Trade Agreement and the passage of the Family and Medical Leave Act. However, his presidency was also marred by scandals, including the Monica Lewinsky scandal. George W. Bush served from 2001 to 2009 and oversaw the country during the September 11 attacks and the subsequent War on Terror. He also signed the No Child Left Behind Act, which aimed to improve education in the United States. However, his presidency was also marked by controversy, including the Iraq War and the response to Hurricane Katrina. Barack Obama served from 2009 to 2017 and is known for his efforts to improve healthcare through the Affordable Care Act, also known as Obamacare. He also played a key role in the Paris Agreement on climate change and the repeal of Don't Ask, Don't Tell, which prohibited openly gay individuals from serving in the military. However, his presidency was also marked by political polarization and contentiousness. Donald Trump served from 2017 to 2021 and is known for his conservative policies, including tax cuts and deregulation. He also played a key role in the negotiations with North Korea and the establishment of the U.S. Space Force. However, his presidency was also marked by controversy, including impeachment and the response to the COVID-19 pandemic. And finally, Joe Biden, who took office in January 2021, is the 46th President of the United States. He has already made a significant impact, signing executive orders on issues such as immigration, climate change, and COVID-19 relief. He has also announced plans for major infrastructure and social welfare programs. Each American president has left their own unique mark on history, shaping the country in their own way. From George Washington to Joe Biden, these leaders have navigated times of war and peace, prosperity and struggle, and left their own legacies for future generations to build upon. In conclusion, the history of American presidents is a fascinating and complex topic that spans 2 centuries. From the country's founding fathers to the modern era, each president has left a unique imprint on the nation's history. It is important to understand and appreciate the contributions of each president, both positive and negative, in order to gain a better understanding of the United States as a whole. We hope this video has given you a deeper understanding of the history of American presidents, including their lives, accomplishments, and legacies. If you have any questions or comments, please feel free to leave them below. And don't forget to subscribe and turn on the notification bell for more informative videos like this one. Thank you for watching.